Hey, good afternoon. My name is Raya. My name is Raya. You are muted.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. How do you do?
um,
At your lunch?
yes, but today actually, I'm not very well,
Okay.
but okay
Hopefully,
lah, still can work.
all right. Hopefully later on, yeah, we were trying to make it on time. Then we can end on time as well.
Sure, no problem. Uh, can you hear me clearly without the
Yes,
noise, without the
yes.
background?
Yeah. Very clear. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you are in office now?
No, I work from home today because
I see.
I'm not feeling well. And do you have any guidelines for today's quiz?
Later on, Dr. Izura will brief you, okay, before the students' presentation starts, about the project lah. So for today, we have second year students. It's around, I think, 70 of us, but we are divided into work base, which means that we have 5 groups. So one group going to present one scheme to you.
Mm-hmm.
So each of them are
Hello,
going to
Madam
spend
Saraya.
around 10 minutes. Hi, Dr. Izura. Hi.
Hi,
Yeah.
Dr.
So
Izra.
Dr. Izura is our second year's coordinator, and in the same time she will coordinate the sessions later on.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So am I early today or just nice?
Just nice, don't worry about that.
Right.
Yeah. Usually before the session start, we were like having a brief or chit chat, yeah, to understand about the whole how's the whole flows of the programs.
Sure.
Okay. So today is quite straightforward. I think it's more on the students' presentation. After that, we hope to get your technical inputs, your professional experts' input to advise the students. Because after that, we managed to like send in the proposal to Lysaght. Okay. So hopefully see whether we can work together for this the community engagement project. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Okay. I think we are waiting for our pengarah, Dr. Alice. So she's going to deliver the welcoming remarks for our program. Yeah, for these 2 days. Then after that, I think we can start off lah. Okay. Or maybe Dr. Izura, yeah, we can swap. We can while we are waiting for Dr. Alice, maybe we can brief Madam Suraya about the project first.
Yep, sure. Let me hold on, yeah.
Okay, sure. So, madam, maybe we go like casual lah.
Mm.
We go for casual style for our sessions.
All right.
Right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to be a very short brief, actually, Madam Suraya. So the project is actually part of our design studio activities. I think Dr. PC already explained that to you just now. And each group is led by one respective lecturers, which is Dr. PC itself, Dr. Izzat, Dr. Tengku Intan Suraya, Dr. Doris, and also me. Okay, and in this project, students are required to design an outdoor exhibition display, and basically they are required to consider Lysaght material as the main materials used in their proposals. So the site is located at Marina Walk, Puteri Harbour, Johor. It is a waterfront development developed by UEM Sunrise Berhad, which is highlighted in red here. And you can see it from the picture on the right hand side, which is this part, the one that have a lot of big trees. So it is actually a long marina walk there. And it also has this spacious paved walkway with all the big trees that I mentioned just now. and also some shops and sittings for the users to enjoy along this marina walk. So basically the students are free to propose the location of their outdoor exhibition display along this marina walk. It's just basically it's just a small projects for the students to work out, and this is the basic form given to the students as their reference. And one of the requirement of this outdoor exhibition display is that it should be easy to assemble and disassemble for future use. And on top of that, we also shared this standard dimension of exhibition display with the students as reference. So they are free to basically explore and experiment with the design within the size given here. And as long as the display does not exceed the size of 2050 millimeter height and 2400 millimeter width, it should be okay. And as part of the outcome of their proposal, they also have to produce working drawings or detailed drawings in order to explain the ideas and materials selection. Yeah, and then we also provide some of the links from Lysaght Asian website for them to refer to all the materials that available in Lysaght. And also we also share the YouTube link, which is during our webinar last time. And then, yeah, I think that's all about the brief, Madam Suraya. Um, is there anything that you would like me to explain further, or you want to ask anything?
No. Just in terms of do you have any guidelines or just I create based on their presentation?
Yeah, basically, they will present, and then you just create based on their presentation. And
All right.
probably it is hoped that you can advise on the material selection that they propose, because most of the materials or their main materials of the project is selected from Lysaght.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Our directors of architecture program, Dr. Alice is here. Hi, Dr. Alice. Good afternoon. And we have Madam Suraya and our moderator for today, Dr. Izura, and we have Dr. Izzat. Yeah, one of the world best master. Yeah, is here, and we have Dr. Doris as well. Okay, and Dr. Tengku Intan. Okay, and all the students. Okay, so I think that it's 2 o'clock now. Probably I will hand over to Dr. Izura to initiate the events. Yeah. Okay, Dr. Izura, over to you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. PC. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum, and a very good day to everyone attending this industry technical engagement 2022 session between architecture program UTM and NS Bluescope Lysaght Malaysia. So my name is Nur Izura Tukiman. I am the Year 2 Design Coordinator, and today on behalf of the program of architecture UTM, I would like to extend my warm welcome to our respective panel, Madam Suraya Johari, the Technical and Design Manager NS Bluescope Lysaght Malaysia, Associate Professor Dr. Ali Sabrina Ismail, the Director of Architecture Program UTM, all the lecturers and students. And today we are going to have 5 presentations by the Year 2 Architecture students presenting their design proposals, which initially students were given a project brief for them to work in a group, and they were asked to design an outdoor exhibition displays like what have been presented to you just now, Madam Suraya. And in this project, they are required to use the Bluescope Lysaght product as the main materials of their proposals. So to the students, please be informed that the time allocated for each presentation is about 10 minutes maximum. And then it will be followed by another 10 minutes question and answer session with Madam Suraya. Okay. All right. Before we proceed further, I would like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Alice to give her welcoming remarks.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much, moderator Dr. Izura. Firstly, I would like to bid a warm welcome. Selamat datang. Thank you so much to Madam Suraya from Lysaght Bluescope for attending our second session, I think, because the first session that we had was actually a discussion on the collaboration with Lysaght. But today is that we hope that Lysaght will actually give an input to our students' design in terms of how to use Lysaght Bluescope material so that student will have the abilities not only design but also apply it in real life situation. So most of the design projects that the student did is actually based on the concept of studio as a living lab, where we called it the students has to do a real life project and also get involved with industry to get to know the expertise from the industry much better. So this is actually a very good opportunity between UTM Architecture School and with Lysaght Bluescope. So I hope that this kind of event will be not only be the first, but will be many more to come in the future. And this will actually be a kick-off start for this program to venture more detail with Lysaght after this, not only in terms of designing projects, but also in other fields like signing MOUs, collaboration, research, and so many more in the future. So I wouldn't say much because I know time is very short on your side, Madam Suraya. So I wish everyone today the very best, especially to the second year students. You did well, you did great for your project. So now is the time to present to your client, and your client is Madam Suraya, and she will give the judgment in terms of your design work. So with that, thank you so much again, Madam Suraya. So I hope I can see you in real life person after this, not in the WebEx, but in a real life person. So thank you so much to Madam Suraya and all the team from Bluescope Lysaght for accepting our invitation for today's event. Thank you so much. Thanks again. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Right. Thank you, Dr. Alice, for the welcoming remarks. So I think without further ado, I shall invite our first presenter from group number 1, Dola and friends. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, very clear.
All right. Okay, Assalamualaikum to Puan Suraya and lecturers. For our work-based design, it's called flag style, which is the aim for this display design is to create an interactive display. Aims for an experience of interaction between the user and the exhibition. And the user can be seemingly attracted toward the exhibition when they see other play around when they see others play around with the panels. Let's for example, in human behavior. If they see a ordinary display, they usually just scan it and then just ignore it. So my aim is to let the users to interact with the display and let them observe the display better. Okay. So the design is very modular, so that the design very flexible. So there's a variety of arrangement. So this is the arrangement 1, arrangement 2, and arrangement 3. So the design is by unit. So you can mix and match it so that it can make a variety of design. Okay, so there's a variety of display setting. So the first design, which is one display, second design, 2 display, and the third design is 4 display. Okay, for the construction process, so the every unit is already assembled at the factory. So you can bring every unit, every display, bring to the site by module, and then arrange and joint it inside. and then it's ready to display. So just very straightforward construction. So this is the components that it has weather visor, and it also rotatable. The reason, as I said earlier, the goal is to let the user to interact with this display. So by by create it as a rotatable display, uh, it hopes to let the user to interact and interact more with the display. Next, for the construction, I let my friend Rashid to present. Rashid?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, for the construction, the thickness of each panel is basically about 2 feet, that the rotating panel. So there are, can you go to the exploded structure, Lola? So there are 2 types of connector that holding to the panel between the middle panel and the side panel. So the upper parts of the you can see that the most ups is the custom C channel for the uh that will hold the structure from that to its partner. So that is the it just being assembled using bolt and nut from the structure to the we call it as the kawan dia at the side, and then we can see that there are flange bearing still, which is still flange bearing at the that hold the rotating panel, because steel flange bearing is one of the bearing that can hold the structure because it is light enough. And then there are aluminum sheet that being welded to the upper component that hold the frames. And then for the accessory purpose, we choose paracord rope. It is about 4 mm in terms of the thickness, and then we assemble it using screw we screw it to the structure of the panel. So the structure we build it using aluminum C channel from Lysaght, and then we make a frame through it. The frame will be around 2 meters to 600 meters because of the width of the panel is 2 feet that I mentioned earlier. And then there are fastener that will hold the structure. The fastener is there are X verge that will be the frame that will be the background of the exhibition display. So that X verge will be used by a fastener to hold it. And then we use perspex at around 3 mm thickness that will avoid the water from coming into the display, into the exhibition. And for the perspex, we choose to have aluminium modular sign support screw. If you search to the internet, you can actually get the name. The name is exactly at what we type there. It actually we can see it in any common glasses or perspex exhibition. And then there are shafts that being hold the whole frame. The shaft being welded to the main rod, so that it will the mass of the structure will be put into the shaft, and the bearing will be sit on top of the shaft. And then there are in terms of the leg, we choose steel footing. The steel footing will be custom and it will have screw. So the rod have shaft and screw at the bottom to screw it to directly to the foot. So when we have this one panel, we can just arrange it another panel beside, and we can have also extra structure for the seating, because normally people will attract not just because of the exhibition. So if they can see that they are sitting there, they will go there, and then the seating is also act as attraction, and it play the same language in terms of the exhibition panel, where it use the same C channel for the structure framing, and it use rope, paracord rope, as the we maintain the identity. Can you go to the display locking system, Dola? At the downside, the bigger bulletin. Yeah, display. So how we lock it when it go rotation, there are a bit of like a stopper for them to sit on another, and then they will stop rotating. So they will rotate like 180 degree less, and then yeah, they stop rotating. But the panel must be that. I mean, that is how they intersect together. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Can I play a very short video for the panels to understand better the design?
Sure, sure.
Okay, I think that's all from us. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Abdullah, Rashid, and the team. May I invite Madam Suraya to give some feedbacks or comments?
Right. First of all, good presentation. All right. But can I know what your group trying to solve here? Do you have any problem that you want to solve from your design?
In terms of construction, is it?
No, your concept. I believe from the background that the background of this research is to provide some facilities, okay, uh, to the users, right? Okay. So are you trying to add more facilities? For example, you can see here, you can sit there and do your works, right? It just your design is just for to add some features, some hardscape to the environment here, or to try solve any problems at this location.
I don't think we're trying to solve any problem of this location,
For
but we
example
just
kan, for example, mungkin tak cukup tempat duduk ke, ataupun kat situ panas, ataupun you try to provide some shelter, kan kat sana banyak pokok, mungkin orang boleh duduk sementara hujan ke, ada tak you fikir on those kind of facilities ataupun kemudahan untuk orang lalu lalang duduk dekat situ?
actually in terms of seating semua tu semua dah cukup provided dekat situ, and then so kita just nak tempat ni just untuk advertise something untuk users dekat sana, and in terms of design ialah untuk menarik orang untuk attract orang untuk tengok kita punya display instead of just tengok dari jauh. So kita nak dia datang dekat. So untuk apalah, untuk apa ni cakap
Alright,
untuk
okay. So you
untuk
are
connect lah orang dengan
just,
tempat.
okay. Okay with that, just okay, here you have two focus point actually kan. One is the bench itself because your tajuk is bench design, right? And then you have your display. Alright. So my concern as a Bluescope Lysaght actually in terms of safety lah. Okay, safety. And then how to maintain your product, your design. Okay, you have a lot of mechanical, you have few part that you have to connect, right? For your rotation thingy, right? Have you thought about how to maintain it? Because you have a lot of trees, nanti dengan dia punya daun-daun stuck dekat you punya rotation tu, how you are going to solve that?
I think kalau concern tentang ada benda tersangkut dekat dia punya bearing tu, rasanya tak ada problem sebab kita ada visor and to protect barang-barang daripada tersangkut daripada contoh daun untuk tersumbat dalam ni. So tak ada masalah sebab ada benda akan hadang dia. So daripada segi mungkin faktor cuaca, mungkin kita akan coating dulu besi ni supaya mengelakkan daripada senang untuk rust. And other than that, rasanya tak ada kot concern yang lain.
Add on
Sure.
about the kalau hujan in terms of selain hujan daun-daun tu kita ada perspect yang quite big because the perspect is not for the small panel, it also shielding the paracord. So kalau nak tukar pattern paracord tu kena buka everything lah. So it also acts as protection to air, percikan air and then for winds. Kalau dari segi macam daun-daun tu dia insyaAllah tak ada apa. Kalau maintenance dari segi flange bearing they need grease and then it can stand for a year, lebih kurang macam tu lah. Letak grease sekali, itu je lah, nanti dia boleh still pusing fine.
Alright. Okay. And then how long ada masa sebenarnya for Q&A? Sorry.
About
10
10
minutes.
minutes.
About 10 minutes. Alright. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Since you have a very nice design kan on dia punya roof tu, why not add on meaningful features? Okay, so macam tadi I tanya, you cakap it's just for attraction purpose. So since you dah ada bumbung tu, why not you extend a bit so that people when hujan, you are Rashid tadi, talking about kalau hujan. So why not besarkan sikit your bench on the rooftop so that people when they are sitting there, dia boleh berteduh ke, or else mungkin you have flat roof here, maybe you can add some solar to address green concept. Sebenarnya your design ni banyak benda yang you boleh add on. Okay, so and for your info, our materials we can provide until 50 years punya warranty material, tak karat. So don't worry about that karat lah. In terms and then and sebab I tengok tadi your background of that area tak ada shelter, semua bench, exposed bench. Okay, so you boleh tambah sikit code your design ni. And then apa lagi ya? How you nak overcome the vandalism problems Sebab design dah cantik dah. Boleh pusing-pusing. So you have your kids there dekat you punya design concept sana, ada kids yang akan for sure they love to touch it, and they, because of it can be rotated, it's a rotation basis kan, so everyone would love to touch, pegang. So do you have do you consider about the vandalism protection?
Untuk in terms of display, for protection untuk display ialah ada perspek apalah perspek glass. So in terms of untuk risau the bearing akan rosak ke apa, rasanya bearing tu memang tahan kuat. So tak adalah macam orang pusing kuat sikit dia akan rosak. So tak adalah macam tu. So bila orang kasar sikit pun dia still tahan lasak lah, very durable lah.
When you are talking about durability,
mm-mm.
have you studied how long? Because every products manufacturer, they have their durability lifespan.
Macam yang Rashid kata, sekurang-kurangnya 1 tahun dia punya ketahanan, sekurang-kurangnya. So benda ni kalau rosak pun dia pun very modular. So kalau rosak satu, let's say sini satu rosak, so they can easily disassemble and letak yang baru.
And replace it lah.
Mm-mm.
Alright. Okay, I think it's it from me in terms of construction, in terms of how we are going to construct it, in terms of the materials. Basically, you have all the basic, how to connect it. I like it. You have that idea. All right. So technicality is there, and of course, there's a lot of to fine tune it. I think if you really need to develop this, we will have another detailed session lah for this idea. Right, that's it from me.
Okay, thank you, Puan Suraya.
Thank you, Puan Suraya.
Right, thank you very much, Madam Suraya. I think it's a very useful comment for the students, and hopefully the students will take note on all the aspects that has been highlighted for you to develop further your design. Okay, all right. Shall we move to the second group from workplace, Dr. Tengku Intan?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Can everybody hear?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. So, can I start now? Can. Okay. Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon. I bid to everyone, the lecturers and also our panel from Lysaght. My name is Muhammad Najim bin Muhammad Sabri, and I'll be presenting about my workplace's design. So, the design is called the puzzle. Why is it called the puzzle? We will look further into that by after this. So first up, we have the location. So based on the brief given, the proposed site location is located in Pochi Harbour, which is along the Marina Walk, along the sea. And it is a prestigious waterfront development by UEM Sunrise Berhad. So this location is a hub for everyone to play, dine, explore, stay, and whatnot, enjoy the views and whatnot, where there are a lot of commercial and also residential areas surrounding it. Okay, so moving on will be the issues and also solutions on how to counter those issues. The first one would be safety issues, which is proposed as the proposed site is like crowded with people. That's the first one. The second one is there are no user-friendly seatings, as the only seating area would be limited to only on the benches and also the side of the pier, which would be dangerous. And the third one would be bad odors caused by trash that has been thrown around, which have been neglected. So the solutions for those three are for the first one is design of outdoor exhibitions panels must be in a safe condition so that it will not actually cause harm to other people. The second one would be designing a seater for multiple people to sit and also relax around the marina walk. And the third one would be placing like planter boxes on the design in order to give fresh air and also to give some sort of sustainability design towards the puzzle. So for our design concept, we taken into account that the Iskandar Putri itself is kind of like a big main board for a puzzle, which is like an empty puzzle where you need to like solve it. You know, those like puzzle games, right? And the Putri Harbor is like the main development, like the big puzzle for the board itself. And the other small pieces will be joined together by other like associations or maybe organizations such as UEM, maybe facilities like trees and surroundings and such. And then all of this will be completed and also will be merged together in order to create one big puzzle, which is the Putri Harbor itself. And then moving on will be our was it yes, the design process. Bawa ke yang apa dia? The yang key tu, key bukan bawah, yang bahagian tengah. Yang lighting frame design tu. Yes, okay. So moving on will be our special elements, which we have the slot-in idea connections for the puzzles itself, which will be done by using Lysaght materials. The sustainable design, which is the planter boxes, and also the third one will be a lighting frame design, which will illuminate the display area in order to create a lighting effect and also make other people be attracted to read it. And then moving on would be the design process. So the word we taken the design process from the sentence of Marina Walk, where we will play with perspective, where from one view we can read out Marina, and also from another view we can read out walk. So that can be played around as like a perspective and also like a thing to attract people towards our design. So we first taken the letter of M and make it easy enough to construct, where we did a bit blocky and also make it easy to construct. And then we change it into where we applied some of the elements that we have identified before, making it a bit easier to read from like the one perspective. And then after that, we changed the base shape into like puzzle panels so that it will be the main concept for the project. And then moving on will be the perspective renders and also exploded axonometric in order to see like in detail of how we construct it, where the seating design will be at the base with the OLED screen frames on the side of the design in order to not actually block out the letters of the M, the A's and such. And then the curved puzzle panels in order to create that, in order to have that safety issue being resolved. And also the planter boxes, which we put on top of the curved puzzle panels. And then moving on would be how it works. So basically, like I said before, the planter boxes will act as the sustainable design, and the design seat will be combined directly into the design in order to help the public to take a rest, and while also can read the display over on the left, the right and such. And then the puzzle panels will be the main shape of the puzzle panels will be curved in order for a safety issue, and the lighting will provide good lighting and such. So moving on will be the second board, which will be our drawing. So you can see from the plan view, the elevations. So you can see on the front elevation there, you can distinctly see the letter of the M. So we're trying to do that for the other letters, the A and the R's and such, where you can also see another like the walk on the right side of the design itself. And then after that will be the details. So for details, we put two, the OLED panels, the frame details, where we will be using more on wood, and also the Lysaght materials, where we're using the smart trusses. And then there will be wiring and such, and then there's also screws and all. And after that, there will be the puzzle panels, where we will use the wood in the middle of the panel, and also the Lysaght X ridges, and then it will all be put together by screws. And then if we like slot in, during the slot in, there will be the brackets as well, in order to not make it fall apart easily. So next up will be our video of how this design was actually done from beginning to end. Enjoy. Okay, so that's all for the video. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Daniel and team members, for the presentation, animation, and also the models that you did. Madam Suraya, would you like to give some feedbacks to them?
Right. Good animation. But it would be nice if you have sound. It's okay.
Yeah, the video has supposed to have sound, but then probably some
Okay,
technical difficulties. I'm sorry.
All right, no problem. All right. Can you define what is bench?
Define what is bench?
Yes. It's about bench, right? Your main
Yeah, a
topic
sitting
is
area.
about bench. Yeah.
So a bench is a place to sit and rest while also not giving inconvenience to the user.
All right. Okay. It's for seat. It's a
Huh?
seat. Basically, it's a seat.
Yeah, it's a seat basically.
All right. So can you go back to your problem statement just now?
Problem statement.
The issues here. Yeah. Safety issues, no user friendly seating. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, Madam Suraya.
Yep.
Actually, our project for year 2 is the outdoor exhibition display. So basically, they are designing the display. But then yang bench tu is actually another group punya project which is tomorrow.
Alright. Okay.
Okay.
Sebab the way I dibagi the link tu, looks like macam today it's about bench.
I see. No, it's not. It's actually
my
the
focus
display.
actually on bench.
I see.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Right.
Alright. Okay. So it's about display. Okay. Sebab I nampak pun macam if relate to bench tadi, you have even the first group pun cerita pasal display, right? So I lah yang salah rupanya. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, Madam Suraya. Yeah, I will be appreciate lah because we appreciate that you as an expert kan. If you able to like give the students some ideas, okay, from your points of view kan as a Lysaght kan, in terms of like the buildabilities of the works, and maybe you as the like the stakeholders, what do you think about this product? Is it doable or not? So maybe I think that will be some things that you can trying to share with the students regarding to your opinions from the expert points of view. Yeah. So,
Sure.
yeah, thanks.
All right. Okay. Okay. You can move forward. Because I will drop the question about bench. Yeah. Okay. Even though you have you include about bench also. Okay. I will focus on the display item. Okay. And I want to know how you are going to construct this. Okay, the material that they are using for planter box. Okay, you have a planter box and then you have your seating, you have display. All right. So why you are choosing all these materials? The main factors of affecting your material. Are you saying something?
That point will be given by one of my team members, Balkis.
Why we choose the material kembang semakuk wood, because it is have the density for the wood, and also it is easy to resaw and crosscut despite its yearly reputation as a difficult timber to process. And then it has the natural durability. So the timber is moderately durable under exposed conditions.
You will be using for entire design?
Yes. For the smart trusses that we show just now, it is for the frame. For the frame of the OLED panel. And
Okay.
for the puzzle.
All right. So you have wiring embedded right here?
Yes.
Okay. From where you are going to get the power point, yeah?
I'm sorry?
Power point, because it's you have wiring here. Of course, you will require power point. Yeah. Have you considered and how you are going to tarik the power? Because this is exposed area, right? In terms of safety, how you are going to ensure that your wiring is working well when it's a raining day?
That one maybe we need to discuss more further about that.
All right. So again, my my concern is about safety. So it's good that you have idea to conceal, okay, to have this wiring into this C section. Okay, it can be covered up. But in terms of maintenance, in terms of the safety, during rainy days, so that we ensure that the wiring won't trip, and also if for maintenance, how difficult to have this wiring to be maintained. Okay, and then what kind of information, you have all these small panel, what kind of information that you intend to have? Is it just panels for decoration, or you are going to have some information on it
Hello, Madam
other than
Surya.
planter box?
Hello.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. So can I add on something?
sure.
All right. Actually, our initial idea is we have two elevation, this front elevation and back elevation. We have the panel with the same color, but different of the material of Lysaght Bluescope materials. And at the right side and the left side, we have another colors, but also the different material of Lysaght, like Lysaght Bluescope materials. This one is the first suggestion that we already proposed lah. And for the secondly, we think that we can use the whole pieces of the Lysaght Lysaght Bluescope roof or walling punya panels, and we cut by small pieces and we just slot in together. Yeah, and our initial idea is we want to propose the Lysaght Bluescope punya products qualities to public, because I saw that the information that Lysaght materials is very high maintenance, very long lasting. So we think that it is very possible to have some design like this one and very last longer.
Of course, I could. I very the idea of displaying our material is good, but again, can it be like resourceful, informative panel other than about the product itself? Maybe you can add some information about Marina itself or history of Johor, or something informative to that small panels.
All right, madam. By the way, we already proposed a M at here, and you can see with different. We have, and this one is one of the letters only. We have another
Right.
letters where we propose A, RINA. Yeah, so I think we already have proposed something like Marina. So if we propose lagi banyak, is macam too much lah. So we just propose easy M.
I mean, on the panels, you have a lot of panels here. The small panels.
Yeah.
It's okay. All right. I think, to me, you have good design, but if you can add some informative articles, right, other than our products, it be more meaningful. Okay, so the conclusion for this project, for this second idea of presentation, please have a look on the safety in terms of the wiring just now, and also the informative things that you can develop into your design, because your design is to me very good, very interesting, right? The thing is just for me, if I go to this to this park or to walk through this lane, just I need to go further to see your letters. So I can see if I stand about 1 feet from this display, I can see this letter. Okay, how you are going to tell the people that this is actually M, for example, because of course I need to step further away to see the overall letter. Okay?
All right, madam. I think we can using the color to highlight out yet, right?
Yes, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Madam, can I ask another question? Can for the display screen, can it is possible we are using the solar panels punya display? Is it possible, or we still need to think about how the wiring to connect the short lot?
Even solar panel, you need something. Solar panel doable also.
Yeah.
But what for?
For we are
Why
using
you want that solar panel to be in this design?
the
When you
we
want to
didn't have the
transfer
wiring
the power
for the
to... Okay, you collecting the solar,
yes.
but what for? Are you trying to generate? Are you trying to have some?
Generate the energy for the display. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the wiring is very susah lah for thinking for that. Joining, yeah, right.
I'm not saying that it is impossible to do it. Just you have to think on how to properly protect it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, madam. I think we still need a very further development.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Right. Thank you, students, and thank you, Madam Suraya. Okay. Shall we move to the third one? Work-based, Dr. Lang Pao Chu.
Okay. Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Izura. Okay, so a very good afternoon to Madam Suraya and all the lecturers and my fellow friends. So my name is Wen Xuan, and today I'll be presenting our work-based 3 light box. So we will start from the background study. So why we are creating and designing this light box is because we study from like the blueprint of the Iskandar Malaysia that actually like for the vision of 2025 is actually having the vision of a walkable and safe and livable city design, and actually it also enhancing like creating a class environment to live, work and live, learn and play in. So moving on to that, the site selection for this project will be at the Puteri Harbour, of course, and also near to the Marina Walk. It's because Puteri Harbour, as one of the gateway of the Iskandar Puteri, is actually integrated with the waterfront development, and it a relaxing tourist hotspot to go for the public, especially the families and with the children. So when the families are celebrating the night activities at the Puteri Harbour, so the abstract visual LED lighting advise the visitors and providing an interesting space to enhance the public engagement. So this is the main intention of this light box. So we also did a very small site analysis why we are choosing this location. Okay, so you can see from this very small location plan. So yeah, we found out that actually the night density, I mean the human density at night is actually the highest in this Marina Walk. So we want to integrate and the activities at night and also wants to integrate with the surrounding the lighting there. So that's why we are actually focusing on the lighting on this project. Okay, so like we found out that actually the pedestrian circulation on here at the site here is very high density, and also the orientation of these light bulbs is also actually following the pedestrian circulation according to the wind flow and the pedestrian circulation. So it actually near to the jetty here. So the design intent for these light bulbs actually come from three main elements, which is the lightweight skeleton steel framing, so that we can ease the process of the installation and it is more portable to carry. The secondly, we want to having a menu presentation display panel to convey the message by visualization while promoting the public social. And third one is the LED neon light installation so that it can stand out during the night time and attract target group to stop by and appreciate the structure here. So what is the design concept? So the design concept is using a superimposing and interlocking cubes to create interactive space. So actually this exhibition booth aims to garner the public attention during the night time, where the LED frame light will be the highlight of this exhibition. Also not to mention that the human traffic density is the highest during the night. Concept of the modularity, it actually provides flexibility and create a diverse configuration. So means that actually this just our one module, which means actually is having a lot of possibilities and in future also. So it actually seems like it's actually a bigger size maybe compared to the others group. It's because we are actually having a main frame and actually they are having a lot of possibilities in creating like a variety of shapes and the combination. So we are using the interlocking layout and the stacking effect so that it can create a lot of diverse configuration from there. So the exhibition is a modular structure, so it can make room for the future addition and installation. So with this modular structure, the exhibition actually can create a channel that acts as a gateway. So you can think that it's like some kind of a concept of Lego. So when we stack up all the cubes and the structure, actually it creates a gateway. The structure and while like reading the information there. So looking, you can see for this floor plan, you can see the walkway is about 3 meter. So it's actually why it's 3 meter is because you want to become the place is comfortable for the people when we are having people standing besides when they are reading the information the panel, so that it still has a space for the people to walk by. So you can see besides the walkway, there will be interactive spaces, which having our highlight also, which this interactive rotation panel. So I will be explaining furthermore in the poster. Okay, so how is the manufacturing diagram? I mean, how can be done? So firstly, in the aspect of the constructability, the light bulb is primarily using the steel structure as fabricated using a large format CNC machine for easier assemble. And secondly, how it can be transported and the size. So it can be transported using a large cargo truck, and also it can be disassembled and transported quickly to the desired site. So how about the structural system? The structural single, this diagram show the structural single line diagram. So it actually shows the load path for the load taken by the exterior structural framing. So you can see here, the load taken by the exterior frame will be the wind load and the dead load. You can see for the arrow here. So the vertical force is picked up by the system will be distributed through the structural framing to the ground. Okay, so the structural framing load transfer only vertical load, and as we have removed the horizontal load from the wind force on the stage structure. So from the highest four corners of the center portion of the frame will be the main point to support the vertical load from the exterior framing. Okay, so our structure will be 4 highlighted details. So first, we are using the steel framework. We are using the Lysaght Smart Truss, and connector with the bolt and nuts, and we will refer to details A in the poster later. And secondly will be the interactive rotation panel. So because of our initial idea will be create an interacting space for the children and the people to enhance the public engagement. So we are having this interactive rotating panel, which we will show you the details later. So we can see the information and they are inserted inside this acrylic panel, and also it can people can play around like usually what during our young time we play in the playground. Yeah, so it actually creates a interaction of the structure and the people there. And thirdly, the focus will be the LED lighting strip, which because you want to integrate well with like the surrounding, the LED there. So actually we also having a main highlight is the LED strip, so that it can function, and yeah, it will be a very highlight at the night to attract the people to the structure suspension. So how did we connect with the structure? And yeah, putting in the poster and information inside the acrylic panel. Okay, so this will be the CAD drawing. So you can see the south elevation, west elevation, and also the north and the east. So you can see for these 4 different elevations, so you can see that actually we are aiming like for people can appreciate no matter what direction it is, it actually creates a very interesting and a very different facade from all the directions. But the main direction will be the orientation for the people walk through is the west and the east, which people just walk through. And by the side which is the south and the north, is playing with the interactive panels, and people can stop by and appreciate the structure. Okay, this is the section shown. So we can see that, this is how the rotating panel here, and also the LED lighting, the placement of the LED lighting. During afternoon or morning, so you can see people we especially made for the interaction for the people interaction of the children and of the public also. So for the details drawing, for the details A will be the steel jointing details. So we are using the Lysaght Smart Truss as the main structure. So for the connection, we are using the bolt and nuts and using the connectors and then connected with the steel bolt. You can see the details here. So there are a lot of different type of jointing, but still using the same type of connection, which the bolt and nut, and using the welded connection. Okay, so second will be the pivot structure details, which is for the interactive rotation panel. So this is the details. We are using the 6mm acrylic perspec for the informative poster inside, and it can be rotated 2 sides. Okay, and then it is supported by a steel root tube. So this overall diagram on actually how it is not all the structure is having the LED, but we have selected some of the portion that can link LED all together, and it will create like an interlocking effect and visual to the public. Okay, so you can see here, so how the LED will be placed. Like actually we're having an idea to put in the LED strip at the C channel and covering by a plastic panel here. Yeah, some kind of like this. And so, and we will all connected to a box lah, and then it will be hidden in some way placed for safety reason. Yeah, so the last details will be the acrylic poster holder. So how it is connected to the steel is one, we are using the cable suspension. This is the some of the details. I'm not okay. Yeah, this is the trusses. And then the cable suspension that holding the panel itself, so that the information poster can be inserted between this acrylic panel. Yeah, I think that's all for our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Wen Zuan. Madam Suraya, would you like to give some feedbacks?
Right. Thank you so much. Again, very good presentation. And you highlighted about low carbon society blueprint and so on. You address on it. Okay, and first thing that I would like to congratulate. It's a good job in presenting the the load path. Okay, you have the dead load and live load, how it being transferred. Okay, maybe I missed out just now. Can you explain to me why you choose without roofing structure for your design?
Roofing structure.
Without roofing.
Okay.
Right? No roof at all.
Yeah. Okay. Firstly, from my point of view, why we are not having any roofing, because actually this structure, our main intention is just to having a interactive spaces, and yeah, we display booth for the others. And actually this is not our main intention to like provide shading or provide shelter to the people. So actually we just having the structure as connected like a gateway. It's more like a structure to appreciate, and it creates like a place to attract people to come. So for the roofing, it is not our main intention lah, to having the, because like we actually is not providing like people, we not intention like people to sit inside and like having rest, but instead we just people want to walk by.
All right. So with our weather, okay, we have hot sun, we have rainy days. All right. So you have a lot of things to display. You have you have a lot of things to attract people to be there and to browse through your informations. Do you think people would like to go there with without any shade? How you are going to attract people? We know that people will feel uncomfortable with the hot sun, right? So
Yeah.
how you attract people to go to your display area here and let them browse, enjoy the information that you are providing here? Put simple example. When you are waiting for a bus, how long you can stand there to wait for your bus without shelter?
Understand.
Okay, maybe this is suggestion. Instead, just at least you want the purpose of the roofing is not only for shelter, but also can be your additional maintenance protection. You can add it because you have a lot of connection, right?
Yeah.
So maybe you can use this to minimize the maintenance requirement. Okay. And then just now you were saying that you have welding connection, right? Which part that require welding connection, yeah? Because most of our product components, the truss component, the roofing, the thickness is only up to 1.2. So it's impossible to have welding connection. So I would like to know which part that you are going to use, that you are going to apply welded connection.
Welded connection. Sorry, let me go through the details. But for the welded, I think, is it necessary if we are having like the connectors for the steel? Is it necessary if we're having the bolt and nut, so it's not necessary to to weld together, right?
That's why your proposal, okay, your welded connection, can I know which part of that welded connection?
Which part? Oh,
So maybe at the ground, okay, maybe if at the base plate, maybe, might be. But if we can avoid, then avoid, because base plate is connected to the ground, it's the main connection to the ground, right?
Yeah.
So that side might be, but I have to look your main components.
Main component.
Your main components is actually CC channel as well, right?
Yeah, yes.
So if channel, we don't have that welded connection.
Okay.
Because the welding the welding is not suitable for thin wall plate.
Oh, okay, understand.
But bolt and nut, okay, when we are talking about bolt and nut, we are talking about the quite big of diameters. So when we are using C section only, normally we were using the self-tapping screw with 5 mm, a very, very small screw, right? But for the bottom part that is connected to the ground, yes, you might need the base plate and also bolt and nut.
Oh, okay. Actually, can I ask, like, is it the sizing for the C channel? Because I think we are confused, and actually we can't get a very precise, like, how many the dimension does the Lysaght is providing, or it can be customized.
We have a standard dimension for C section. The height can be 75 and 100. The thickness normally will go from for structure will from 0.75, 1 mm and 1.2 only. There's a 3 selection for the thickness. But the height of C section is only 75 and 100.
I see. All right.
And the connection that you are creating now, you have that idea how to connect in between the junction and everything, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we can have another discussion to have simplified connection rather than
simplified connection. All right.
And also the spacing of your stud, the spacing of your vertical members, so on. Again, my general comment would be how you, again, one point, because this is public space, this is open to everyone. Again, what is your preventive on the vandalism and on the safety part, right? So I guess you need to improve on that as well.
All right. Thank you, madam.
And for acrylic materials, we use acrylic as well a lot. And we found that acrylic tend to be faded earlier. So how you're going to overcome this?
For the acrylic panel, is it?
Yeah. The one that we have is actually indoor. Even indoor,
all right.
Easily faded about. We can see the sign of fade about 1 or 2 years. We already can see, and it affects the material inside the acrylic, in between the acrylic. So because we sandwich our samples, okay, and we can see discoloration on the panel itself.
So should we consider another materials, or is having like ways of prevention for that? Or having a covering?
Might be. It's not that I'm saying acrylic is not suitable, but maybe you can find the how to protect what is the maintenance factor that you need to apply onto the acrylics if you are using acrylic.
I see. Okay, okay.
One more thing. Have you, again, this is for everyone, right? Have you thought about how you're going to address for disability, the OKUs, how they can enjoy your display? Maybe sound, maybe audio, might be anything that they can touch. And when they touch, because when you are using all this panel, it's quite sharp at the edges. How you are going to protect that? How you are going to protect the children's when they touch it? Okay, to avoid any injuries. Okay, kids they like to touch.
Yeah.
Because your design all about very sharp edges. Okay, in terms of okay, if you're using our panels, again, if we have protection. I mean, we can last up to 50 years. It depends on the product. In fact, C channel as well, we can offer up to 50 years in terms of the durability towards corrosion.
All right, noted for that.
Okay, that's it maybe.
Yeah. Sorry, but before ending my presentation, can I just invite some of my members to add on some of the issue here?
All right, sure.
Okay. So anyone?
Hi, madam. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. I would like to explain about the welded part now. Actually, the welded part is only at the jointing the connector. So the main structure, which is the smart truss, it is just like slot into the rectangular hollow section. Yeah, and secure with the bolt and nut. Yeah. I think that's all from me.
Oh, okay. So you are building a connection. You're constructing a connection there. Welded 3-way steel rectangular. Wow.
Yes.
You're using hollow?
Rectangular. Because initially, actually, we are thinking of the materials of laser materials of the firm lock, but yeah, we heard that it's not available in Malaysia, so we just changed into, yeah, these C channel materials.
Okay, good idea to have this consider socket to all the junction. Okay, good. But if we have simplified connection, so I think we can avoid the unnecessary work. For example, to have a new socket for this connection. But honestly, this is very good idea because you are solving the connection problems here.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, thank you, madam.
Any other questions from your group, Wenzwan?
Yeah, any others? Just one more. Just want to ask like, actually, what is the maximum span for the length if we are using the these Lysaght materials for the smart truss. Is it possible to for this like 3 meter and where is it? Oh, sorry, here.
Not possible.
Not possible. You mean so that you have decreased the length?
Decrease the length, or you provide internal support. For example, maybe you can add on the vertical members in between
Vertical members.
the span. So that vertical members can be part of your display unit later for the rotation acrylic.
So actually is around where is the maximum like for the span? Is it?
I will provide you the table on what is the
Oh,
maximum depending on the span and the height. Okay, so and the area, because this is somewhere that the quite high wind. It is exposed area, right? So I will provide that detail.
All right, can. Thank you, madam.
Because different thickness, different C channel, it contribute different strength.
All right.
Sorry, can anyone hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Madam, I have one more question to ask. Is there any recommendation or like suggestion for in terms of the sharp corners? Is there any connector to like which is rounded one to connect all of the C channels together?
Buy from IKEA lah. Easier solution.
Oh, okay.
No, it's better. Just use the whatever we have, right? The IKEA one is the most practical way. Easy to create another one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much from students from group Dr. Lam Pao Chung. Okay, shall we move to the next group, which is from Dr. Izzat? Are you sharing the screen?
I am trying to
All right.
optimize motion and video. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Hello from the other side.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, so I will start my presentation, okay? So hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Yasmin Shahmina. I will be the representative for Dr. Izzat's workbase. So this is our design proposal for the exhibition and display. And together with me are my colleague and teammate who work together for the proposal. We have designer team, technical team, 3D team, and also production team. Okay, I am in the designer team. Okay, so introducing to you, find your pixel. This is our design proposal. So Find Your Pixel is a colorful and attractive modular exhibition display in collaboration with Lysaght and UEM. Okay, so the goal of our design is to create a multifunction exhibition display that can be easily identified by the users from far and near. So we will try to attract with these colorful colors. Okay, so for the ideation, actually we are inspired by UEM's slogan, UEM Sunrise slogan, which is "Find Your Happy." And in the tagline, they actually have a few elements of happiness, which is first is signifying belief, second is resilience, journey, and optimism. This is from UEM slogan. So what else have for sides? That is a pixel. So this becomes our concept, find your pixel. Okay, so pixel is the basic component of our exhibition display, and this pixel is modular and a movable component which enables user to create their own element of happiness. Like we mentioned, UEM have their own element of happiness, and for our exhibition display, we let users to assemble the pixels according to their likings. Okay, so as you can see here, these are the pixels, and actually the colors also is inspired from UEM's corporate color, which is hot pink, pink, blue, and turquoise. Okay, so for our design objective, we intend to design an interactive pixel display with push and pull movement, some extrusion on our design, and personalization option. And it is a modular design that can be personalized and easy to assemble, something like a Lego, sorry. We are able to push and pull the pixels from the structure. And also, we want to highlight about the multifunctional and the design's flexibility and how we let people to be interactive with our design. So how we create that, these are some of the scenarios we predict for our design. So the first scenario is for commercial users. So for example, is Starbucks seasonal display. So they can use our exhibition and assemble the pixels to their likings. For example, we created the SB letters to resemble Starbucks, and also the pixels can be turned into shelves to display their merchandise. And this is actually, in the center is an LED screen display. So there will be advertisement promoting here. And the second scenario, it can also be used for corporate use to, for example, like UEM itself, they can also use the exhibition display to show their merchandise and promote their projects, for example. And also the last scenario is for institutional use. They can also utilize this exhibition as well to promote their things. For example, this one we are promoting EduCity, and this is UTM UTM lah. Okay, UTM's merchandise which are displayed. So as you can see, actually the arrangement of the pixels are very randomized. Like we mentioned in our design objective, it can be anything, okay, to the user's liking. Okay. These are some of the perspective along Marina Walk. Okay. So we move to the technical drawings. So firstly, this is the front elevation of our exhibition display. So the total height of the exhibition itself is roughly 2.7, and also the width is 3.5. Okay, so the structure that we use is a very simple structure, like a skeletal structure using 25 millimeter by 25 RHS. And we also have the pixel box to our detail. We have few types of pixel boxes. We will talk about that later. And also we have the LED display, like I mentioned. And then we are applying Lysaght materials at the base and also for our boxes. Okay. So these are our pixel unit types. We have 3 types of pixel unit. First one is hollow. The second one is a drawer type. And third one is a solid box. So the dimensions are as such 145 to 350, 145 to 400, and also 145 to 500. Each of the type have similar sizes, just different details. Okay, so for drawers, we can use this to put brochures and as well as the hollows as well. So about the different sizes of the pixel units, we can create the extrusion, extruded look lah. From this is the first plan. Okay, we covered the top one with Lysaght panel, and then this is again the pixel box, and also this is the base. The second plan is showing the section in middle to show how the LED is sitting in between the pixels. It's very simple and boxy structure. Okay, this is the side elevation and also section XX. Okay, so this is the Lysaght product that we have chosen, which is Lysaght X Verge Steel. And we are applying this product for our pixel unit. Okay, we are taking the seamless portion of the panel to create the box. Like this is a continuous folding. From the catalog, it says that it is 6 meter, it has a 6 meter length from factory. So we are using that to have, to create the folding into box. And this is the termination detail. We are using rivet, and for safety issue, we chamfered the corners for the edges. So all of these boxes will be used. We will use the paneling to create these boxes. All these are Lysaght products. Okay, so next we will continue to the technical detail. So the first one is on the front frame connection detail. We are, like I mentioned, we are using a rectangular hollow section for the overall skeletal frame. And then this is a flat metal plate at the void section where there is no pixel box. And for the connection, we are using a flat metal plate to connect each RHS. And sorry, the next one is for the detail from the side elevation, how the pixels are rest. Okay, rest on top. So we have an L plate to support the side RHS. Only OL plate, right? Okay. Let's see. Okay, the next one is the rack connection detail. This is for the corner connection. We are using a corner brace melter plate. Very simple structure. And this is the corner connection detail. Also another L flat metal plate and a corner brace metal plate to connect the RHS again. So this is for the inside of the structure. The grid is actually 300 to 300. So in between, the box is, like I mentioned, 145 to 145. So each of this, the holder is where the pixel will be. One pixel box, one pixel box, one pixel box, and another pixel box. So this is the detail for the holder of the pixel box. Just only a steel plate that is connected by tanggam. Okay, lastly is the sliding detail. Like we mentioned, we have some push and pull things happening in our exhibition. So this is a finger edge pull conceal handling for users to be able to push and pull the box to take out the brochures and everything. Okay, I guess that's all for the presentation. We can proceed to the input, I guess, feedback.
Okay. Thank you. I already put my attention to your design. One problem with me is if I'm touching the X-Verge panel to pull out the box, would it be very hot?
It will be very hard.
Yeah. So how am I, if I am the user, how am I going to pull that? Because that's the main problem, that I won't touch it because I know it is metal, and metal will absorb heat very fast. Would you mind to change the handle to other product or other material? Because
I think there's no issue for that. Okay, we can just
please
look for users' comfort.
Yeah, because it's for sure with your exposed display unit, okay, easily this material will absorb the heat very fast. And why you choose your structure using mild steel? You are going to use a hollow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the hollow will be fabricated using what kind of material? The main structure.
Steel RHS.
Steel RHS, so it is
Yes.
mild steel, right?
Yes, true.
Yes. So why you choose mild steels instead using cold form C-channel?
Hello. Okay.
Yep.
For that question, we just wanted to using steel for our main structure.
Any reason for that?
Because at first we actually consider the C-channel, but the design not feel seamless, so we changed the whole structure to the RSS structure to make it feel more seamless and firm.
So what is your concern actually? The stability, the strength of the materials?
Yes. And also the looks of the overall design.
Okay. The look of the design. Okay, by using cold form, you can achieve your desired looks. Your
Yes.
desired design.
We actually already consider the C-channel from.
Okay. All right, no problem. And then so these boxes can be taken away.
Yes.
Yes.
It can be like push and pull to the desire of the owner.
Okay, what happen if I just take it away? Take one of the boxes.
I think we change our concept to find our pixel.
Boleh jual tau the box tu. Metal mahal. Sekarang lima ribu per tan.
So like we have considered some of the safety issues, but since by doing that we will need more structure to hold it, which will lead it to being more complicated for it, because we aim for it to be more easier to assemble.
Okay.
That's one of the, but it is considered for the safety issue.
Okay, so who under who the maintenance the maintenance scope later on? Is it under UTM? to make sure if being taken away and to be replaced
Yes.
anyone by
But one of our opinion, one of our point of view that the exhibition is actually a temporary exhibition, so there will be someone who actually will be there all the time. So maybe the risk is below scapegoat. Maybe. Yeah, hello. We actually thinking of the exhibition is a temporary exhibition, so there will be someone who actually will be there most of the time, so to monitor the exhibition. So the risk of it being taken away is like lower and less. If macam Starbucks having the exhibition, so there will be Starbucks staff to monitor the exhibition all the time.
so it's not permanent.
Yes.
Okay. Tapi kalau saya klien, saya mesti nak yang long term punya kan. And minimize my cost. It's okay. Just maybe
Sorry, maybe like we can consider there will be stopper at the depan tu kan. At the slider detail, there will be a stopper that will
to avoid
hold
people
the
from take it away.
yeah.
The whole set. Kan, maybe you just add
Yes.
some stopper, the lock ke apa.
Yeah, maybe the extrusion can still happen, but not pulling all that away.
Okay.
Yes. Macam just enough for laci buka, right? There is a stopper. So only to that extent, so we don't let people to take it away.
Yes.
Maybe we need to refine the detail on the slider actually.
That's the answer I'm waiting for.
Yes.
Okay, and then your elevation drawing here, front elevation showing that Lysaght is wedged for steel base only.
Sorry.
Your front elevation that you are showing now, you have Lysaght is wedged steel base.
Yes.
And the bottom part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here.
Yes. What about the base?
Yeah, you're only using this as wedge for the base.
It is actually a concealed structure. The Lysaght is part of the structure for the base. So the base will be
Folded.
no, not folded.
So the base is so basically the view is from the plan, which is we put the Lysaght material on top of the base for the Lysaght X wedge, not on the sides, not
So
on the elevation.
you will
That is
cover.
just to indicate that we use Lysaght X wedge.
All right. So means you will cover the entire ground area with S-wedge.
Yes.
Yes.
Because the X wedge has a connection, a seamless connection. So I think that it is appropriate to use it like that.
All right. So people will stand on that area, right? On the S-wedge.
No, it's not to be step on. It's more for it to hold the structure on top.
If okay. What is your arm length? So is it reachable if I stand out
1
of
meter.
that? And how about kids?
A bit shorter than
no way that you can prevent people from stepping on the ground area. So I suggest for you to consider different materials. So because it's much very it's very flat. So
I see.
if rainy season, if ada air kan, so ini chain. Okay, so I'm not I think you need to reconsider your base material.
Alright, okay.
Memang you won't you tak boleh nak avoid people from stepping on your ground area ni.
True.
Dan macam mana you nak maintain, nak bersihkan every time orang pijak, bersihkan orang. So okay, yang itu. The rest tak ada kot. Yang lain okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Sama lah dengan edge you punya box edge tu lah. The sharp edges.
Which one?
Sharp edges.
Yeah.
Our panel, again, our panel is very thin. 0.35, so easily the risk injuries risk is very big lah.
For the boxes, we actually already considered it will be a chamfered
45 degree.
45 degree chamfered.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
For this one, the edges details like chamfered for the safety consideration.
Should we consider to just
How you are
fillet
going to
it?
bend this, yeah? To make it box?
Macam mana nak bend ni?
How you are going to fabricate this shape?
By bending it.
Okay, so then what is the rivet for?
So the rivet is for to terminate the endings of the pizza box detail. Pizza box, I mean. So we consider to use flush rivet, which will not disrupt the flow of the drawer. So it'll be smoothly when pulled.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But I think the lapping area is not sufficient. Just ngam-ngam. I think you need to enlarge it a bit.
I see. Okay. We need to
Right.
enlarge it a bit. Okay. Is
Okay,
there...
for the entire box we'll be using as words. Can you consider, because we have a lot of profiles, can you consider maybe few profiles instead of one profile only to be your box, your business?
Yes, because we want to achieve that seamless look, so we only look for a profile that have a panel that have seamless profile.
Okay, so you already have your scope. Okay, all right. Okay, that's it for me.
All right. Thank you,
Alright.
Madam Suraya. Thank you, team Dr. Izzat.
Thank you, Malaysia.
Okay, I think we shall move to the last group, which is from Dr. Doris' group. You may share your screen once you're ready.
All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Not yet. I only see black here. Not sure about the others. Madam Suraya, did you manage to see Fikri's screen?
White screen.
Oh, white. Okay. Can you try again?
Right. Is the screen showing anything, or is it still loading?
Yes, I can see it now.
Okay. So, Assalamualaikum and afternoon to the honored Lysaght panel, Madam Suraya, and also expected lecturers, and as well as my fellow friends. So first and foremost, I like to thank for your and input throughout the project. And I also like to give credit to my Workbase 5 for their hard work and dedication throughout designing this booth. All this is achieved and possible due to their talent and countless sleepless nights. We create a deep dive exhibitional booth. So, the deep dive exhibitional booth is an experiential journey on both the interior and exterior parts of the booth. The interior will dive into the depths of the sea, showing the topography of the ocean, flourishing with marine life and biodiversity, displaying the rich aquaculture of Putri Harbour Bay, and in juxtaposition, displays the increasing amount of pollution and plastic trash found on the ocean that's killing and destroying the aquatic beauty of the ocean. The deep dive exhibition booth is on that is happening due to our pollution and raising awareness of plastic with the help of to try this to the with visual for this
I'm sorry, is it my line or your line? Because
with two parts of
I think it's Fikri's line.
because I can't see anything and the voice is not here.
I think so.
Fikri, maybe you can just switch off your video,
yeah.
Fikri. Or probably you ask your members to share the screen.
Oh yeah. Is it clear now? My voice clear? Still not clear.
I think it's better now.
Yeah. Better now. Maybe Aimi can help me share the screen while I explain.
Aiman, can you stop sharing the screen or?
Alright. That was
Can you see Aiman?
Yep, I can see.
Yeah.
Alright. Continue with the form ID. Alright. So after that, after the by creating an experience through the past, we create a juxtaposition displaying contrast the all that you ocean flow and this will be the amount of plastic on the boat. So we show the render. So in the render you can see that is one of the ways or the and that can be with this exhibition. So when you look at the floor plan, you can see the actual path and how contrast the plastic pollution, so people can between those how each member affects us. So the front elevation, the uh,
Hello, is it clear? Is my voice clear? Okay. I'm using my friend's. Okay. So on the front elevation, you can see that we prepared a space for the display. So here you can there's opportunity for a poster displays for to show awareness for plastic pollution. So on the left elevation, the next one there, you can see the intricate layers of each individual piece of the panel showing different depths of the ocean. So moving next, we go to the next section, section A. So section A is where you can see the topography of the ocean, showing the depths and uh, detailed marine life and biodiversity on each of the level. So on the other side is the section B, where you can see the detail of each layer. So when we look up at the exploded axonometry of the ocean floor cross-section, so on the ocean floor cross-section, it is displayed on every level what type of marine life exists on each and every level. So this idea behind this design is to raise public awareness for the ocean pollution problem. The ocean state is subpar, and despite the state can you zoom in more into the yeah. Okay, despite the city being more urbanized and contemporary, instead should be getting better and match the ambience of the Putri Harbour. Visitor can see how deep and intricately layered the ocean is by looking at the blue layers, while the red layer shows how much pollution has done to the water. People must take every effort to avoid harming the ocean. It is enormous and challenging for them to care for it with only their bodies. As they say, prevention is always preferable to the cure. The UEM logo, which employs color layering, serves inspiration for the layering. So zoom out, we will go to the construction. So first, the horizontal steel brackets joint. Each layer is made out of 200 by 300 Lysaght perforated panel cladding, and each layer is connected to each other via bolt and rod, and vertically supported via a 20 by 20 C-channel stainless steel, which is connected to the layer with metal and taps slots. So we'll look at the configuration. So the exhibition booth is can be configured to different sets of arrangement to suit different events. So it is kind of a modular exhibition booth. So it is reusable for different types of events. So making it have a lower carbon footprint. So education-wise, by having the booth placed in a configuration that shows the best view and best readability, it allows past buyers to learn and educate themselves on the ocean and pollution as they walk past or through the booth. So the experience-wise, this allows the exhibition booth to have various and unique experience based on its many different configurations to suit any event, space, human, or capacity of the area. And also it's recyclable, so due to it being modular and saving costs, time, and designing a new booth, so a new event can use the same booth but have a different experience. So you can use the booth over and over again, but with different configuration. So now we'll be looking at the video animation.
Can you replay?
I guess that concludes my presentation. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Can you replay the video, please?
I'll replay the video. Okay. Okay. That concludes my presentation for deep dive.
All right. Thank you. I want to see your. You only have one drawing for the construction drawings. You have only one section, maybe.
Yes, because we are focusing on because for the construction we focus on the jointings of the exhibition booth.
Okay. All right. So again, for your first horizontal steel bracket joint, okay, will be just exposed like this or will cover up?
The jointings.
Yeah,
The jointings will be exposed.
will be exposed. Okay. I guess maybe you can provide some cover.
Okay.
Right. Steel panel and the steel perforated mounting bracket. Who will do the perforated cladding?
The perforated cladding, the holes can be laser cut or water jet into the panels that will be provided by Lysaght.
Oh, but we don't do the perforated.
But we can laser cut the holes. Yeah.
Okay. So you have that solution. I have to be upfront that some even though we are manufacturer, some of the profiles we can't do because our limitation, right? The machine limitation. And then okay, why you want this cladding to be perforated?
Because we have LED lighting, so we would like that to shine through the panel, not only on the side but also the front. So in order to attract pass buyers and pedestrians towards the exhibition booth. So that is one of our attracting features of the booth.
All right, so it's mainly for the aesthetic.
And also for functionality, because that area at night is quite dark, and lots of people are passing by there using like scooters and bicycles. So by placing this exhibition booth, it also serves as functional lighting, so people wouldn't bump into each other at night.
All right. So if I am the just ordinary person to pass through this your display unit, how can I appreciate this what you are trying to tell?
So if you look at the configuration, the box configuration, so the below one, yes. Okay, that one. So when you pass through the exhibition booth, the left and right of your view is filled with the juxtaposition of the ocean floor and also the plastic pollution. So when you look to your left, you see the beauty of ocean floor and the marine life. But when you look to the right, you see how our pollution, humans pollution, destroyed those beauty. So when you go through this, it surrounds you in this experience. So you are immersed into that story of life and pollution.
So all that info will be
Yeah.
printed out on the wall?
All that info will be etched using laser cut into the interior of the exhibition. So it'll be quite versatile, and also on the outside layer, we can also put posters or pictures of pollution, so people can see both on the interior of the exhibition booth and also the exterior of the exhibition booth. There's permanent and temporary exhibition on both sides.
Okay. Can you zoom into the your section BB or left elevation? Okay. How about section BB? All right. Have you figured out what is the gap in between? How you're going to support the panel?
The panel is vertically supported using C channel, C 20 by 20 C channel, stainless steel C channel.
20?
And 20 by 20 mm.
20 by 20 C channel.
So that might be a bit small, but it's also horizontally supported by a bolt and rod. So that will provide the horizontal structure support.
Hold on. You were saying that you are going to use 20 by 20
C channel. Yeah.
C channel. I'm afraid you have to change the sizes, the size, because we don't produce the channel with that size. So, and I believe that this, your section BB, you have your vertical members here. Okay,
Yeah.
all these vertical members are going to use C channel.
Yes, C channel.
Yeah, C channel. So, the one that you were saying that you are going to use 20 by 20 just now.
Yep.
Okay, so I suggest to change to 75.
75.
Or 100, but check on how big your panel is. So whether the C75 with the spacing of the spacing of each C section able to hold your panel, because your panel quite big. You have a variation of panel sizes, right? Here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to check it, and you have this section BB only, but you don't have the other section, so that we can see what is your other. I can't see your panels or your C section arrangement actually.
I guess if we look at above, yeah, you can see that on the right one.
Okay, but this is for which size? Because you have a few, each layer you have different panels sizes.
There's various of this C channel. So each panel they're custom made to each vertical C channel.
Okay. So what is the spacing of the C channel?
The spacing like between each panel, is it?
Yeah. No. Each C channel is your backing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the spacing of that C channel?
It is between each C channel. There is a distance between 300 mm.
300.
So it's quite closely arranged. So all that the load will transfer to that C channel.
Okay. Where can I see that? At 300?
On the floor plan.
The floor plan. It's okay. Never mind. So means that there's no details on that on it lah. Yeah. You just need to extract it from your design.
Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
Excuse me,
So
can I say something?
yes.
Actually on the section AA shows the
AA.
spacing between the panels.
Section AA. Where is section A?
I need to bawa kat section AA.
Okay.
Section.
This is section A.
Basically we're cutting it on 300 on it on the panels. As you can see, there's each line, each vertical line there. There's actually 300 mm.
So you are following the width of its verge. The panel itself, 300.
Excuse me. Yeah. We're actually following the space for the panels that were given for 300 mm. So we're using the structure of the vertical for 300 mm also.
What type of profile that you are using for this project? Also its verge or different profiles?
It's just the same profile. We're using the perforated one, but it's the size are still the same, just the edges is a bit different.
Okay, because like your colleague in group 4, okay, they specified that they are using X verge. So X verge panel we can have in 300 panels. That's why I'm wondering if you are using the same profile or you just use the flat sheet and then you make your own profile by imposing the
We're
separated.
I mean like on the other like the straight one is actually just the flat sheet but on the edges that have the wavelength that's actually a custom one.
All right. Oh, here your C channel is not 20 by 20. It is 200 by 200 mm. Right? 20 by 20 mm C channel stainless steel. But okay, go to the A. So how many channel you are using? 200 by 200, and then here you have another. Let's see. You have 20 by 20. So few sizes you are using.
Yes. Yeah, the different size.
All right. Okay. So I have no more questions. Just I hope that you can try to standardize your C-saddle so that you can minimize the materials to avoid the confusion. Just like what I experienced here. Okay, you have 200 by 200, you have 20 by 20. If you are going to assign someone to install it, how you going to identify, or how the installer identify which part to be used at which area? All right, and maybe maybe you need more details on your construction drawings. Okay, some of the dimension, the important dimension to me, okay, when I read your drawings, okay, I need to understand what is your width, what is your support. Okay, as an engineer, I need to know whether the structure can hold your components or not, your materials or not. So I think you need to have more. It's not that your presentation is not good, just you're missing some important dimension here. Right?
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, that's it for me.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Madam Suraya, and also students from Dr. Doris group. And yeah, I think that's all the presentation that we have today. And again, I would like to thank very much for all the presentation by the students, and also to Madam Suraya for all the input and feedback. I think we learned a lot today, and we get a lot of input from you. And I also hope that the students will take into consideration all the aspects highlighted by Madam Suraya in your design proposals, as well as design development later. Before we end the session, Madam Suraya, would you like to share some advice or conclusion of all the designs presented by the students today?
First of all, good job to everyone, to lecturers. All right. I think and I'm so sorry because at the earlier stage I mistaken with the other group.
No problem.
Okay, so if you need any advice, please you are welcome to text me or to email me, right? But don't call me. Don't call me because I have to take some time to respond to your questions. All right. And first thing that we need to consider is in designing anything, please put yourself as the end user. All right. In terms of safety is number one. And then to me, whatever you do, the safety come first, and then how comfortable you are as end user to use whatever you design, and any design that you are try to contribute to the community, please make sure that your design can benefit everyone. Don't to be biased. All right. And please respect the environment as well, right? I think that's it from me. Again, well done. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Madam Suraya. I think it's a very good reminder for the students, and I am totally agree with all the advice given by you. So students, please take note on that. And yeah, before we end the session, I think we should take some photos um, uh, to just to remember this event and the session. If you don't mind to switch on the camera, students. Ah, diorang dah ready dah with this heart shape. Sekejap kita tunggu yang lain-lain sekejap.
Sempat sikat rambut sekejap.
Okay, are you guys ready? Smile. 1, 2, 3. Right, another one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, thank you very much. And yeah, with that, we have unfortunately we have come to the end of the session. And again, I would like to thank you very much, Madam Suraya, for your interesting and insightful feedback to the students. It was a pleasure to have you with us today. Inshallah, we look forward to seeing you again in the next session tomorrow, Madam Suraya.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a good
Madam
day
Suraya.
and goodbye
Thank you
for
very
now.
much.
Kirim salam Dr. Ellis.
Inshallah.
All
Thank you,
right.
everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Izura.
madam, for your input.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe my channel.
Wow, ada.
Sempat promote. Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. Dah, Lia. Dah lah. Sekejap, bye.